What's going on, members? It's your boy Lisba Mutupi, and on today's video we're going to be doing something super amazing. So I've been getting a lot of requests from a lot of you guys asking me to just go through Nasdaq one more time, just so you can be able to just see maybe the most recent structure on what it is that we are now seeing and what the market is more capable of doing going forward. Because I remember I shared this video a few weeks ago, if not a month ago, and I spoke about my long-term views on Nasdaq, and so far it's moving super amazing. It's moving the way that we have anticipated. And just by saying that, obviously we just want to continue to see if we're seeing the same thing in the markets, or if we can maybe adjust some of the forecast that we initially had. So I'm going to be doing something for you guys. I'm going to be going through the daily time frame. I'm going to be going through also the 4-hour time frame and also the 1-hour time frame, just so we can be able to understand what the market is trying to tell us. At the same time, guys, I will make sure that whenever I get an opportunity trading Nasdaq, I'll share it in the public group. So if you want to get these trading opportunities that I see and get from the markets, make sure to do one thing for me. Just hit the link that it'll be in the description box. Hit the link that will guide you to the Telegram channel, and that way you'll be super close to the community that we all are involved in. So let's take a quick look at it. I've got your Nasdaq, and I remember the previous time when I done a video speaking about this, I had these points being our lows and higher highs and higher lows and so on. So understanding this, we understand that this is easily we can be able to spot that on the bigger time frame. This is actually an upward trend. You don't have to confuse yourself with this. So if it's an upward trend, if it's an upward momentum, it means that whenever you're involved in a sell opportunity, whenever you're involved in a sell, in a sell trade, it means that it's just a short-term trade. Even if it's gonna drop for 1,000 pips, or even if it's gonna double, triple your account, it's a short-term trade. The bigger trade is actually to the upside. So we need to make sure that whenever the market, like with Nasdaq, I've made more money buying instead of selling. Even though I think it was yesterday we took a trade to the downside, and it was giving me a few profits. I think I was floating somewhere around 2,500 rands, and then we moved our stop losses to close to break even. So when the market retraced, like it shot down and then it shot a bit more to the upside, and then it took me out. Eventually I took home like 500 or 600 rands, on which it shows that the momentum more is actually to the downside instead of the momentum being more to the upside. And whenever I buy Nasdaq, within the first few hours I'll be over 2,000 rands, and if I just move my stop loss to break even, it can continue going more to the upside. Sometimes if it's not ready to move at that specific time, that's when I'll take my break even at times. So let me just jump into it so I don't get to speak more about it now. So you can easily see here we've got our beautiful, it's a very beautiful, super clear upward trend, an upward push. Here's a retracement, upward push, here's a retracement, and now we're experiencing this upward push. So with this being said, on the daily time frame, because I'm going to try to take it from the daily time frame all the way down to the smaller time frames. So at the daily time frame, you can easily see that okay, our highs is normally bigger than the previous highs. So just by taking a look at it, higher high here and obviously higher high, the market here, though this because this is a retracement here, almost similar to this, and this is a push more to the upside, but this one here actually happened like super, how can I say, like it happened almost like immediately, like as soon as it shot downwards, that's when it hit the support areas, which is down here, and then it continued going back to the upside impulsively, which normally we don't see that from the market. Like the market normally would shoot down, and then when it moves up, it moves upwards in a corrective manner. So this one impulsed downwards, and then it impulsed back upwards. And guys, if you really do want to maybe check more about Nasdaq, just also follow US30. I've been trading US30 for a few months, like weeks, in like being super focused on it, but a few months just understanding backtesting and so on. US30, US oil, and other, what is it, S&P 500 and so on. I was able to see what actually correlates with the Nasdaq, and I noticed that US30 correlates with it, even though it's not 95% such as other pairs that correlate, but it correlates with it. So you can easily spot some of the movements that you can see on US30 that you'd also be able to see on Nasdaq. So it's something that you can do on your own. Some things like I can't really just show you each and everything that you can. Obviously, just by your own, you can be able to just see these things. So that's the best way that you can learn, obviously, by seeing these things. So with my experience being able to trade Nasdaq for so long, not even like longer than most people would think that I've been trading Nasdaq. It's only a few months, but I'm growing daily. And whenever I take a stop loss, like I get excited because I learn something. And whenever I hit profits, I also get excited because I learn something and I get to make money while learning that something. So it's amazing for me to be in this position. So okay. So as you can see, yes, we did previously, I think it was like the last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I had this being our close to resistance zone. So I was like, I want to see how price gets here. So when it does get here, I'll be able to know whether we are buying or whether we will be expecting a short term a sell move. And yes, we got here, it broke out from here, and now you can see it came back almost like a retest, and now we're going all the way to the upside. So basically, just by taking a look at this was our previous lower high. Like this is the lowest low, came back lower high, and then lower low, and then lower high, and then now lows. So it broke the previous lower highs too, which makes this much more valuable information, because just by taking a look at this, you'd be able to see that where are we heading, like are we really heading to the upside, and how can we take advantage of that. So also on a 4-hour time frame, normally what I like to do is that I still use the type of the same strategy that I use whether I trade currencies or whether I trade indices or so on. I still use the same type of strategy because it's the only strategy, not the only strategy that I know, but the one that I'm confident in. And you don't have to try out or test out a new strategy to see if Nasdaq works. You have to, I just take my strategy and see if my strategy works on Nasdaq, and so far I've seen that it does work. So can easily see that on a 4-hour, normally what I like to look for is patterns. So you can see here I've got this beautiful ascending type pattern on which it gave me a third touch here. The third touch also gave us a pattern within a pattern structure, which shot down impulsively, corrected, shot down, impulse corrected, we sold somewhere here, shot down, and when it went up, it took us out with that trade that I told you about, and then now it broke out impulsively. So I tried to get an opportunity here, and then it took us out. It was today, took us out here, and then it shot downwards. So somewhere around here, I believe that this can only be forming a double bottom structure. So I'll just show you guys going forward. But also one thing that I was looking for before this whole move happened, one thing that I was looking for is actually, this coming down here, maybe once more here, and then just once more down here, and then this just being a deeper correction, and then price going all the way to the upside. This is what I've been looking for, and I was expecting price to actually push a bit more like this. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to be pushing like this, and doesn't mean that it has to push exactly like this, but this would be amazing because it's almost like an impulsive phase, and then this just being a correction that confirms that we are now going to break to the upside. Because before a longer term move plays out, before a big move goes to the upside, we need to get that correction, that deeper correction that confirms that we are still on the buyer's side. So that's one thing that I was looking for. So so far it's still in the process of playing out. I wouldn't say it played out or it's not playing out, it's still in the process of playing out. So also with this being said, just since this is my double bottom structure, price can just push somewhere to here and then go all the way to the upside. Depends, it can as well break the previous these highs that they were recently created. I think it was yesterday recently created, no, today, since I took the 3 today. So possibly maybe come back for a cleaner one, go all the way to the upside, or just try to break here and then maybe come back once more and then go all the way to the upside. This is also a possible signal that we need to be able to take a look at. So let me just go on the 1-hour time frame. But the most important thing that I would like to say is that I'm looking for buyers here, because sells, if it happens that we are in a sell market, in a selling market, one thing that can happen is that this can only be our future target, and whatever that happens, we can only maximize. Maybe whatever that happens, you can only take sells up until it gets to this point. And for me, I'll be excited even if it gets to this point, because this will also be almost like a double bottom for me. Depends on also how it got here. If it got here with the pattern, then yes, that's okay. If it got here with the pattern, that's beautiful, it's perfect. Even as you can see here, it got here with the pattern, that's why we're able to break out impulsively like that. So even if it gets in a pattern, this is beautiful, because this just brings out this beautiful nature here, double bottom structures and so on. And then obviously I'll be waiting to just capitalize going to the upside. This will also be some different type of scenario if it happens. So I'm trying to show you that I'm not putting my eggs into one basket. I'm not saying that I believe Nasdaq is going to go up, so I'm going to buy as high as possible. No, I'm saying that I'm seeing what the market is more capable of, what's more likely of it to do, and I'm preparing for all types of scenarios that come out. If the market plays out this way, I know already how to play. Even if I have 3 types of scenarios on which all scenarios I'm going to be risking 1% in order to be gaining 3 times or more. So even if I take 2 losses and 1 win, it's still profitable, because I won't even be gaining 3%, I'll be gaining way more than that. So you can see there's also some type and then going all the way to the upside. But let's just go on the 1-hour time frame. Let's just go back on the 1-hour time frame and then see if we can maybe be able to see what the market is more capable of, maybe in the next few weeks, how we can capitalize from it. Okay, There we go. Let me just remove this real quick. For now, I'm not looking for sells. There we go. So the sell that we took, we caught a sell here, somewhere here, and then it went down a bit. I'll see if I can put my screenshot somewhere up here so you can see the 332 and down here, and then we put our stop loss somewhere here. It came back up, it took us out, and then luckily it didn't go back into hitting stop losses. Like it took us, like I want you to actually see this trade perfectly, because we sold here and then it went down to and then it went a bit, my target was like somewhere here, it went a bit more to the upside, and then it took me out. I had like, you know, stop loss in there, and then it continued going up, and then it was going to take me out at stop loss, but luckily I managed to have locked on my trade. So I'm here also just by looking at what this market is. And then also today, I'm not to forget, today we took a trade. I saw this impulse correction, so I was like, we're ready to buy. We bought here, and then hoping that it will come, maybe first targets and so on. But unfortunately it went down, and then it hit my stop loss somewhere around here. So today I also took, only today I took a negative 1% loss, on which it's okay. So because other pairs have been paying well too. So what does being said, I want you to take a look at this now. So the market pushed up a bit, okay, and then it came back to almost like a retest, because this is a breakout. As you can see, it broke out of the structure. This was previous resistance, then it broke out, and it's treating it as support. And I want you to take a look at this. Is almost like, you know, our lows, so it didn't break them, so this is now a higher low. So this actually looks like it's also ready to go back to the upside. Okay, let me just remove this, so because someone's going to be thinking that I'm using that as a trend line. Okay, let me even remove this because I don't need this for now. But I want you to actually take a look at what's also possible. What you can be, okay, where is that section? There we go. I'm looking for my, yes, there we go. So what can also be happening is that this can also be a left shoulder, and then, you know, head right here, and right shoulder possibly. Okay, right shoulder right here, right shoulder. This can also be a head and shoulders, just by taking a look at it, and perhaps possibly going all the way to the upside, breaking the neckline, and then shooting more to the upside, which is a possible scenario. But with this one here, you have to be extra careful on how you execute. Let's say if you happen to execute where it's at, normally I actually broke one of my rules that I may say, because normally on Fridays I don't place trades at all. So today I actually did place a trade, that's why it even went against me, because I broke my rule. So I need to just be able to stay to that. But something like this also would make sense, on which I would like for the market to open at least being like this on Monday, so I can be able to execute such trades. But let's just check out the 15-minute on also what you can expect from the 15 minutes, because just by taking a look at it now, you can even see it shut down, pushed downwards, came back, retraced a bit, came back also to the lows, didn't break the lows, created a new lower, higher low, gave us this beautiful engulfing candle, hammer, gave us this beautiful hammer, and then it continued. It's now shooting more to the upside, on which this would have been a much more better risk to reward, because, you know, obviously using 15 minutes, whenever I execute trades on the 15 minutes, my risk to reward is always amazing. It's always greater than what I always think it should be, you know. So somewhere around here, which is like 4.8 percentages, but this is not the total move. Obviously I want to see what happens when price gets here, because okay, I also spotted something, but I want to see how price reacts when it gets here, because there can also be maybe a double top structure pushing downwards for the last move in order to form deeper corrections. Because, you know, when the market starts to act in a certain way, it doesn't really mean that, you know, your analysis is going opposite. It means that it can just be a start of a deeper correction, which means that yes, we are still going to the upside, but, you know, we have to correct on the 4-hour time frame. And, you know, corrections on the 4-hour time frame is not 6 to 8 hours. It takes longer. It takes even a week or 2 weeks to play out. So you have to be you can also make profits while, you know, waiting for such moves. And also I spotted this head and shoulders, actually, this being the left shoulder and head here. Okay, this is much more cleaner. This is much more clean. Left shoulder, head here. I took this whole as a whole, and this being left shoulder, head here, and also right shoulder. And hit the head. I like the fact that double bottoms also presented itself, but there's different ways of also being able to spot head and shoulders. I don't want you to be fixed to one type of, you know, method. I don't really use them that much, but when I do see them, I add as evidence, not as, you know, a type of strategy, but as evidence, and push more to the upside. And at least when we break these highs, you'd be able to log profits just to see what the market is more likely to do. But if, let's say, a person like me would miss this opportunity, it's very normal of Nasdaq to come back to a point where it broke. I noticed that it's very normal of Nasdaq to literally break out of from structure here and then come back to retest, yeah, and then more likely to go to the upside, on which even here we can still make a big trade. Because someone would be like, I caught a buy here instead of me catching a buy here, it means that I'm losing money. No, you can even make a lot of money here, because what you have to do is that your target is here and making sure that your stop loss has to be super fixed on how you catch it. So it depends on also how you catch it. You can even turn that into a 6%. So you should never be involved in thinking that the market is like super moving away for you and so on. So I want you to know that too. But with Nasdaq, I hope that you guys are seeing what it is that I'm seeing. There's a lot of momentum on this one to the upside, because whenever it does go up, it goes up, like, it moves, it pushes to the upside. And yes, when it does push downwards, it could be a correction. Just take a look at this. This was just one deeper correction, because when it started impulsing to the upside, it broke the trend line massively and then it shot back. And here we can see previous resistance now turning into support. So going back onto the 4-hour time frame, this is going to look beautiful. Going back onto the 4-hour time frame, just open your mind up for understanding that the market is not perfect. So this pattern can turn into being a continuation pattern to the upside. You need to open your mind to that. Unfortunately, I remember, like, even if you guys don't believe, just go back to my old, not even old, like a month ago or 2 months ago, speaking about Nasdaq. You'd see that when we were still here, here, I was like, guys, we have to buy. Like, the market is gonna push upwards, and it's gonna be amazing and so on. And we did capitalize. There were parts where we took some trades, as you can see here. We caught some trades, and we got some trades even going to the upside, even though we didn't ride this whole move, on which it would have been nice to have rode this whole move. But we are still coming up and breaking these highs and continuing to break new higher highs. Like, just take a look at all. Even if, let's say, you're not trading technicals, you're not trading the technical side of it, take a look at all the fundamentals, like the news, not these the news, like, super quick, like news whereby they come after 3 and then you check and then you execute and then you make a quick bag, then you are not those types of news, but literally read about these companies that NAS 100 involves of. Read about all these 100 non-financial companies, and you'll be able to see that there's a lot of growth that we can expect in the next 12 months from the markets, from actually NAS 100. So now you'll be able to also know what moves you can make. Even though you know that you're catching a sell, you should know that the sell is not going to come all the way down to here, but instead the sell can come here, give us a double bottom, arcing nature, then shoot back to the upside. The most important one is understanding that the best move is to the upside. So what this one here, I believe that you guys did see. So just comment below, tell me what it is, what are your ideas, tell me what it is that you are expecting from Nasdaq, what it is that you're waiting for, and just alert me on that, and it'll be amazing to just be able to just see what you guys are seeing. And hopefully next week we'll be able to capitalize on more trades coming from Nasdaq. And yeah, but at the same time, guys, I want you to hit the like button. Make sure that you are liking this video if you did receive valuable information, and also if you believe that this channel is like the information that I share is for you. I actually want you to do one thing for me: hit the subscribe button, as I can see that we have crossed over 30,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. More than 30,000 people literally like what it is that I have to share. It means that they're getting a lot of valuable information. And it's funny, most people out there would be thinking that Forex is a scam, but I've got hundreds of people in my premium team that are making consistent profits. I'm making consistent profits from the markets. I'm seeing people that are not even from my team or anything, but that are posting profits that they're making. And I get to ask myself, how is it a scam? How is it a scam that when you are going to a different country, you have to take your money and exchange it into the value of that specific country? That's not a scam. It's just how it is. It's the currency. That's just how it works. That's what we are doing. We are just exchanging currencies. Yeah. So I hope that you actually did get valuable information. Make sure to share with family and friends, and also make sure to just subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching up until this very end. This is your boy Lisiba Mutupi.